Hello, for more welcome to Invest. We're talking about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's tips only, the investment I'm going to talk today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. This is my second posting as of today. Respect to recording time of 3:27 p.m. on the Eastern time. Ethereum contract $3,625, up about 1.40% so far. Respect to overall crypto market, respectively on the stable coin, seems like it's just kind of trending on a sideways fashion, despite today, with the option expiry and some of the positive news so far. It seems like, we are sustaining some bullishness, but, leaning more towards more of a neutral level in comparisons to the subsequent days of surge that we've been experiencing so far. Right, on the altcoin side, selectively, it seems like Solana is doing some revival at the moment, up about 5% so far, which we'll dive into technical fronts in a bit. So, with respect to the the job report that came out earlier today, it was relatively more of a neutral one as well, which is one of the reasons why across the market is relatively neutral again. But in my depictions, I would say it's more towards a neutral / negative, like a more of a moderately negative job report that came out. It seems like the industry is definitely shifting more of a gig economy type of industry, despite the job numbers to be a little bit lower, or moderately lower. That's probably more of a better verbiage than Wall Street expectations. There's still some improvement upon the unemployment numbers for the domestic side of the world, but also from the underrepresented community as well, right? Which is I guess is good, but also being net adjusted for the lower overall job numbers than expectation. So again, it's kind of mixed signal, and also we are in an interesting time period as well, based on the verbiage that you read in the in some of the media affectation, that it might be just a shifting of quarters. The end of the summer can definitely have a reflections on people's departure. I think bonus time season for respective industries like healthcare or the educational industry, it can be another conversion time, or a typical time when people are leaving jobs as well. So that's something that I again, I'm not I'm not in the medical field nor in the educational field, but that should also be adjusted for. So I would be very interested if there was an unadjusted number reflecting without that the people that decide to depart, the healthcare and the educational industry, right? So anyways, beside that, overall, again, right, still more of a neutral / flat, moderate to negative type of affectation across the market, right? So which I don't have to dive into, is already being reflected in front of our eyes right now. So let's talk about like the key drivers on the sustainability that we're currently experiencing right now on the stable coin. On the news front, Market Watch 2 hours ago talked about buying Bitcoin or any other crypto. It's a huge leap of faith, and you don't want to be the greater fool. So this is basically talk about the speculations with respect to crypto assets. Feel free to read it. It's definitely a persuasive article that the author wants to, cultivate some sort of influence towards the public world. It's basically talking about that there's still a lot of unknowns with respect to the regulatory side, and there's still a lot of unknowns with respect to the actual utilization side as well. Ultimately, crypto is a relatively new technology or new financial assets, if you can even call that yet. It still needs, it takes time for us to further cultivate and improve upon the lack thereof or the areas of improvement that we still need to work on, right? So feel free to take a read. It definitely has a list of objective / persuasive factors that they've identified. Is in my surprise, it's actually more of a neutral tone, but it does list out like objectively what are some of the pain points and what are the future opportunities out there. So I think maybe the article, in a more of a title perspective, using words like greater fool or leap of faith, it might be just I don't know, a clickbait, if you may, right? I clicked into it, so I guess that's a clickbait, right? So, with respect to the next one, Decrypt 3 hours ago talked about Makerverse racks up 60 million Ethereum in sales for NFT. We cannot see yet. So it seems like there is another NFT, and this NFT art piece, it looks very comparable to, or this avatar, if you may, this 8,888 avatars that sold for 60 million in the Ethereum transaction. Looks like Gundam, or like Dragon Ball Z with Gundam, or I think if Dragon Ball Z and Gundam had a baby, it would look something like that. So feel free to take a look. It's interesting. Again, I don't really get it, but it seems like there's a lot of money being thrown at these NFT type of art creations, if you may. Then next one is talk about Power Crypto Holdings to launch BTC and ETH, obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum mining in Hong Kong. So that's interesting, right? Well, Hong Kong is a separate territory, different jurisdictions in comparisons to the Greater China, right? As we know, China has suspended or indefinitely the 10,000 mines in mainland China, but it seems like Power Crypto Holdings, which is under different jurisdictions in a governmental perspective, is launching one in Hong Kong, my hometown, if you may. So interesting to know, I guess. And then the next one is talk about Ethereum risks drop below 3,200 as Ethereum price faces heavy resistance. Resistance, well, I wouldn't say it's a resistance. I would say it's more of a big leap to go up to the next level, right? Because of the fact that, right now we're just kind of hovering on a sideways fashion to try to get to the next substantive platform, which is technically the 3,850. Right now, we're in the betweens of 3,850 versus 3,475, and these levels are relatively weak in terms of the platform of consolidation, right? So ideally, we'll still be at 3,150 as the next platform to dollar cost average at, right? And the next one is talking about with respect to Ethereum on CoinDesk 4 hours ago. Talk about sign in with Ethereum is coming. So it seems like Facebook is, slowly implementing, various different crypto assets onto the infrastructure, like from Libra, which is a crypto transactional exchange that Facebook has been trying to cultivate. It seems like Ethereum it will be something that they plan on using for their sign-in and password, encryption system going forward. So interesting to know. It seems like it's still relatively early based on the verbiage that I see here. But seems like they are thinking about or noodling it at the moment on how that could be implemented. So the next one is talking about this is something we already talked about already. This is relatively late news. This happened like 7 hours ago. Talk about the stock and crypto rallies on pause ahead of today's momentum jobs report, which we've already talked about, right? So let's go straight back into a technical analysis. Again, right, Ethereum, we are hovering on a sideways fashion. We try to get to the next level. We cannot really get down because of the momentum we're seeing right now. We are still crossing upward. We just formed a golden cross. We are at 62 F70 right now, so this is not the best level to buy at, but if you bought it now, just hold it for a long term, right? That's always the the safest option, right? And ideally, the first level dollar cost average at, would not be the 3.4 or 3.5, 3.3. I think it would be 3.158, right? Which is 3,150, 2,700, 2,450. These are more ideal substantive level dollar cost average at, right? On Bitcoin, we're still sustaining the pressure, but you could see that we are above the line again with 70.71 out of 70, so we are way above, not way above, we are just at the high level of the overbought. So basically, we are overbought at all levels right now. On top of the fact that MACD is really stretched up, so this is not a good sign. This is not healthy at all. This a lot of people FOMO'd in. Especially with the one big institutional buying and then subsequently a lot of the small investors chase in as well. And obviously because of the news that we've been hearing, collectively in the last 1 week so far, a lot of big institutions are favoring obviously Bitcoin, knowing the fact that even Soros Fund, one of the largest institutional funds in the US or in the world even, did say that they are invested into Bitcoin and they believe in it as well, which is a big a lot of brand equity that's built into Bitcoin as well with Soros stamp of approval, right? So with respect to Ethereum, you could see that right now we are we talk about Ethereum, sorry. Dogecoin. Let's go to Dogecoin. So Dogecoin with 57 out of 70 right now. So we're not like the worst level. We are like definitely better than Bitcoin and Ethereum. But we are, still not the best level, right? I think the ideal level that we want dollar cost average at would be like the 20 cents, right? Or the 19 cents, which we have had, right? And so congrats to the ones that actually bought in around that level. But right now it's not the best level to buy at right now because we are overbought despite the bullish momentum that we're seeing right now. But whatever goes up really fast, comparable to like Bitcoin, comes down just as fast. You have seen these type of movies before, right? So Cardano is kind of trading on a sideways fashion. I think there's still more room to run up to. We are at the 50 out of 70. So I think out of all of them, Cardano is still the better level to buy at if you want to buy now. But you just know that you have a large leap down to go down to, two big leap down, one to 187, another one to 145. So I just went to the yellow levels for me to dollar cost average at. Solana, we are not the best level, but we are fusing together, which is quite interesting. So we're still waiting for confirmation as to is this a better level to buy or not? Because right now we're just kind of sitting dead in the water right now, despite the surge that we're seeing. We have to see and get more clear verification to see if it's crossing up or crossing down. But it seems like it's crossing. It just crossed down recently, so I think it's going to be crossing up. So ideally, we will be getting up to the 195, and that should be the peak as we hit the RSI of above 70 by then. XRP is basically hovering on a sideways fashion again. The curvature is already forming. We are at the 54. So I think the best level will be the 110 and then come back down from there. Polkadot, you could see that flash crash we had yesterday. We hit 1871, which is what the hell is happening, right? It was so weird. I don't see any news. I think this was probably a technical glitch or something. Or maybe the whale shifted their dollars from one to another. That causes this technical error. I'm not sure what happened, but right now with the basically 60 out of 70, so it's not the best level. So ideally the best level would be the 25 or the $26 level, then subsequently the 23.50 from there, right? So with respect to the market cycle, we're still within the anger stage. It's not going to be that obvious, but based on the market cycle, I think we need to be in this stage before we can continue to rally of Q1 and Q2 next year. So by the time we hit September next year, we should be continuing and drive back into hopeism and then optimism and then believe and thrill and euphoria. So September we should technically reach all-time high if the market plays out from here, right? And with respect to entry level, 3001, 2007, 2004, if you bought in already right now, just hold it for a long term because we have a much higher level to get up to in the future. Really appreciate you for dropping by for the second time of today. Let me know if you have any questions again. My day's just been crazy busy. So I'm trying to not lose my voice because I've been talking nonstop for the whole morning and this afternoon so far. And it's basically 3:30 right now if I'm not mistaken. So really appreciate you and hope you guys have a great rest of the Friday. And if you guys already, on Saturday, have a good weekend ahead of you. And stay tuned for what's come up. Take care.